was the woman we met. I found my future girl, and no other woman compares to my girl. 'Cause yeah, I knew it from the
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Steph Fashionista, and today we're going to talk about the Kristy Sarah and Desmond Scott divorce situation. Okay, y'all, I tried to record this previously and I ended up going live by mistake. So if you caught my little blooper, just laugh it off and just know I'm just out here trying to make content and, keep it consistent. But anyway, y'all, let's get into my little topic for this video. So, Kristy Sarah and Desmond Scott are a social media couple, been married about 11 years. Um, they met at the age of 14. They have two kids together, went to college together and everything. And, they're living the dream. So we thought, right? Well, anyway, Miss Kristy Sarah, let me show you her picture real fast while I'm talking about her. Miss Kristy Sarah filed for divorce from her husband back in December, and she cited infidelity as the reason. Okay, so of course, it took the social media streets by storm. We're like, what's going on? Not them, but you never know what's going on in people's homes, right? So anyway, Desmond Scott put out a nice little apology type of note on his social media. And so let me show you guys that, and I'm going to read it to you. Okay. And so for the desk of Desmond Scott, this is what he had to say regarding, the recent filing from his wife. He says, I want to begin by apologizing to Kristy, our family, and everyone who has been impacted by the public attention surrounding this situation. I know this news has been disappointing for many, and I'm truly sorry for the hurt it has caused. Kristy is the mother of my children, and that will always come first. I remain fully committed to being an active, present, and loving parent to our boys as I have always been. Kristy and I faced challenges and made sincere efforts to work through them. Toward the end of 2025, I wanted to separate, and I had conversations with Kristy regarding this. During this period, I made choices that I am not proud of. I took responsibility for those actions. I shared this with her directly and personally, and ultimately we decided to divorce. I asked for privacy and compassion as we navigate this difficult chapter of our lives. Thank you to everyone who has supported us over the years. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that support and will continue sharing my love for cooking and the things that inspire me. I hope you'll continue that journey with me. Okay. So very nice note that he put out there. Very, respectful and yeah, let me tell you, I had to re-record this video. Okay. So I was getting ready to go on a work trip the Tuesday after the winter storm here in the DMV. And I recorded everything before I went to the airport. So I went ahead and downloaded the footage so that I could, start editing so I can upload the video on my YouTube later, later this upcoming week. And y'all, half of actually about 80% of the footage had no audio. My microphone had died. So I'm having to re-record, hence the new outfit. Okay. So let me get back to the actual commentary. Okay. So I just read for you the apology from Mr. Desmond Scott. Okay. And I thought it was appropriate. I thought that it was, well written. You know, he's prioritizing, the children. He's apologizing for things he's not proud of, all other things. It seemed very genuine and very heartfelt. Okay. Now, what surprised me next was when I saw this footage from TMZ. Let's get into that. So here we see Mr. Scott at a restaurant tonguing down this woman, okay? Tonguing her all the way down, looking real friendly, I would think, okay? Now, the internet does what it does, and they went and located this woman and gave her the business, all right? And she had to give a statement. Well, she didn't have to. She chose to give a statement, and she stated that she did not know who Desmond was. She didn't know that he was married or that he had announced a divorce recently. She did not know. She doesn't watch family content or things of that nature. So I understand that. And and she was just saying that she met him that night at the restaurant. He bought her a bottle and everything, and the rest you just saw on this video, right? I think that it's kind of interesting that he gave this apology maybe within a week or two of this video becoming public, right? Someone spotting him, and giving it to TMZ or whatever. And it kind of makes me wonder if the apology was truly heartfelt and genuine, or if it was just something, to say to try to keep his audience, engaged with him. Because he does say at the end of that apology that, he's going to continue to create content and that you continue to, the journey with him, right? Very interesting in my opinion. Now, there's a lot going on out here. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard about all of the STDs, STIs running rampant across the United States, particularly in Houston. So why would you be tonguing somebody down like that you just met that night when you got all this stuff going on out here in these streets? You know what I'm saying? You got 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have them over at your new place. They're going to be eating off your eating utensils and all that kind of stuff. And you got things going on. I'm just I don't understand. Now, a lot of people have speculated that maybe, when Kristy mentioned, infidelity in the divorce filing, people automatically assume it might have been another man. Okay. They made that kind of known on the internet. So I don't know if maybe he decided to, put that rumor to rest by doing this type of video, or, not video, but by being public and having that kind of interaction, if that makes sense. Knowing he's going to be spotted and it's going to make the blogs as a way to kind of like be like, oh, no, I'm not gay. Look at what I'm doing. For instance, people speculated about Mr. Shannon Sharp, and he had the old Michelle, audio that went live. And let me tell you, ain't nobody said anything about Unc being gay since then. Not that I've heard of anyway. So I don't know if maybe this whole, tugging the lady down in public was kind of a way to kind of squash that whole narrative of him not being, a straight man. I mean, who knows, right? But now, what I will also tell you with this situation is that, like I mentioned with Cardi B and Offset, with Drika Gates and Kevin Gates, that a lot of times the woman is blamed for the, the breakdown of the marriage, the dissolution of the marriage, right? Because they end up having to file. And a lot of times, the woman really does try to work things up with their husband, at least for the majority. There may be some that don't, but I think for the most part, the ones that we've talked about here, they have went on record saying what they've done to try to make things work with their spouse, and the man kept doing what he was doing. So the woman ended up filing for divorce. Now, people say all the time, well, women file more than men. Yeah, because the men will sit there and keep being disrespectful and not file. They're not happy, but instead of them going ahead on and filing for the divorce, they want the woman to sit there and just deal with whatever he's doing, which causes the woman to have to go ahead and file. At some point, you get tired of hoping the man is going to change. He not. Like I told y'all before, you got 2 situations, okay? Either the man is going to be thankful that you gave him another chance and will do right, or you're going to take him back and he's going to think, you know what? I can keep doing this because she's going to just keep forgiving me. So, yeah, I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing. She ain't going nowhere. So they got to figure out which one is he. You know what I'm saying? But what gets me is that a lot of people are blaming Kristy, saying that Desmond was tired of her, and and Desmond was was suffering, all of those things, right? So I want to show you some commentary on that in particular. Let's get into it.
Getting out ball, bitch, huh? Getting out ball, throw me back. Getting out ball,
to me. Okay, that is so cute. Look, so you kind of see in that clip there, the person saying, on the screen how he was tired of her and she's annoying, all of those things. But in my opinion, they are professional content creators, right? And you can't tell me that he didn't know what the move was for the video or had some kind of idea. You know what I'm saying? And they made, I want to say, what, 15 to 20 million last year doing this content. Baby, when I tell you, you wouldn't be able to get me from doing them kind of little things that they were doing for 15, $20 million. Baby, we got to get to the bag. They just built this $3 million home, moved in last summer. Okay. So yeah, we got bills now. We got big folks' bills, grown folks' bills. Let's make this money. But I want to say that I believe that wholeheartedly that he knew what was happening in those videos. He was playing a role, Kristy, and all that good stuff. So let me show you this video right here that I randomly found, and she's titled it "When You Marry Your Best Friend." This came out last summer.
Babe, can you give me a beat?
Why are you on the countertop?
I'll be down.
You shouldn't have got it.
Okay, y'all. At first, he was like, Kristy, why are you getting on the countertop? But he got into action and gave her that beat. Okay. He was a team player. So I just think that, yeah, that's her personality. She's kind of quirky. But I mean, he knew that they've been together since 14 years of age. 14 years of age, and you're like 31 now. Like, he knew that that's her personality. And they were able to kind of like capitalize off of it. So, yeah, I do believe to an extent that because they got married so young, they really hadn't had an opportunity to date. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you got together at 14, you were together most of that time, to my understanding, got married at like 19 and 20, and been married like 11 years. They have not, from my estimation, had the opportunity to date anybody else as an adult. Period. They've been together since 14 years of age. Now, I'm really not a fan of people getting married super young because you don't have an opportunity to really explore yourself. You're still developing your interest in your early 20s, really throughout your whole life. But at least by the mid 20s to early to late 20s, you're at least a little bit more establishing who you are, although you're going to still continue to evolve. But yeah, 14 years of age and finding the love of your life and going ahead on and getting married and having a family, that's the dream for a lot of people. But I also understand that, what, people grow, people change. You know what I'm saying? And you hope to grow together opposed to growing apart, right? And unfortunately, they did not grow together. Okay. But I don't want people to blame her and her personality because, it didn't work out. To my knowledge, Mr. Scott has not stated, why he chose to, depart from the marriage and from, in the household, the family unit. I haven't seen where he's given like a concrete reason. I know he said he's unhappy and he talked to her about that. But I was, I've seen where they said that was all in one conversation on the same day. Like, he told her at one time that he's unhappy, that he's seeing someone else, and he wants to separate. Like, that's a lot to give to somebody in one conversation. It wasn't like, okay, well, you told me in January you're unhappy, and then you told me in July that you're seeing someone. Then you told me in December we need to separate. Like, it was all in one convo from what they were saying, on the internet allegedly, right? So, a lot of women will want to fight for their marriage and fight for their family, especially when you have kids. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that, she just decided, well, I'm going to file and I'm done. Like, I think she might have been, willing to try to work some things out. But I mean, when you tell a woman that basically, I'm unhappy, I'm seeing somebody else, I want to separate, and I want to figure out what I want to do, baby, you're not going to she's not going to wait around for you to decide what you want to do. Okay, she's gonna make moves. Okay, she's gonna get up out of there, right? I'm not gonna allow you to even think that you have the opportunity to choose between me and your family that we created and what's out there in the streets. No, ma'am, no, sir. Now, when I did the original filming of this video, I had not seen the Shannon Sharp and Kevin Gates exchange, okay? And so Mr. Kevin Gates had some things to say, right? And I want to go ahead and kind of pull that in here and have one big conversation. Let's get into that.
I don't like to see people get kicked while they down.
Okay.
He wasn't happy. He wouldn't made himself happy. Only thing I would have.
Oh, he's a Jehovah's Witness, right?
I don't know what the he is, but everybody think he's so wrong with that. No, she's so wrong. Look what you made me do.
Come on, Kev. Don't do that. Don't do that, Kev. Come on now. Come on. She ain't make that man do that.
Huh?
She ain't make that man do that.
Why'd he do it?
That's a guy. He got to do that. He got to deal with him and him.
He was suffering in silence. It's all over his face.
Mm.
He was suffering in silence. A lot of men suffer in silence. And he was just making himself happy. Then the woman that he was over there with, they talking about, hey, yeah, man, that motherfucker look like a monster. I got in her DM too.
Come on, Kev. Damn.
I told her, I say, ignore the hate. That's just miserable people. Keep being amazing. You beautiful. Cause they was trying to talk about her too. I don't like to see people get kicked when they down.
I agree.
And then I saluted them. I say, man, it ain't the end of the world. Don't get it. See, it's a lot of time when you be with a woman, they'll isolate you and make you feel like ain't nothing out there. Oh no, God ain't stopped. All you got to do is focus on God. He'll send you something. More pressure. More pressure than what you had.
Pressure?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let me.
I hate to say this.
Yeah.
A woman is a good woman.
Yeah.
That's a gift from God.
Yes.
But the man is the prize.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's like my new woman.
Yeah.
A lady told me, she said, Kevin, I've been knowing you forever. She said, that new woman you with, she healing your central nervous system. She said, you got this calmness about you now. Because when I get mad, I shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And my woman come to me, she said, babe, stop running from me. Just let me love you. Because a lot of times it's easy for us to give love but not receive love.
True.
But back to my brother Desmond, you know how to cook all these different meals.
Mm-hmm.
You nice looking, you intelligent, you articulate well, you work out. What woman ain't? Come on, man, you got options, baby.
That's Cold Shannon.
They both got options. Now, y'all, I do agree with Mr. Gates on a few things. I too do not like to see people being kicked while they down. Okay. That's why I felt compelled to kind of speak on, the topic, because I kept seeing people making these videos about, well, she was annoying, all those things. Okay. You could be the best, you could be Halle Berry and still get cheated on. You could be Beyonce and still get cheated on. Okay? It doesn't matter what you do. If a man want to cheat on you, he gonna do it. The only way a man is not gonna cheat on you is if he decides that he's not gonna cheat on you. Okay? So it is never the woman's fault, that the man decided to step out in the marriage that he went into knowingly. Okay? Now, Kevin Gates, look at what you made me do. Y'all, I'm gonna get him a hand on that. Because ain't nobody make you do nothing. Okay? Because as adults, if you're not getting what you need from your spouse or your partner, like, you should be having a conversation with them to say, hey, this is what I think we need to kind of focus on here. And if you have had these conversations and did what all you could do to try to get things back on track and you just can't get it back on track, now understand if you got to, go a different route. I get that. But it's not look at what you made me do. It's what you chose to do. You chose to do that. Okay? You got Kevin Gates over here with spiritual marriages and all of that. Okay? Now, I agree with him with the thing about, when you end up separating and getting divorced, like, you know, you gonna get somebody with more pressure, as he's saying. Now, I had told a friend of mine one day that the woman gonna leave and she gonna get her a better man with a bigger bag. Oh my God, he just seemed so insulted when I said a better man and a bigger bag. Yes, because like he just said, somebody with more pressure. So for women, better man, bigger bag equals more pressure. It's the same concept. You're not going to, or you should not leave a situation and then go backwards. You should be leaving a situation and progressing. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to leave somebody and then, get with somebody who ain't doing at least what I'm accustomed to having. If I can't get that, that's the barest of the minimum. Okay. If I can't get that, then I can't be with you. I can be by myself because I do pretty good on my own, but I'm definitely not gonna be going backwards trying to be with somebody just to say that I have somebody. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, no, no. So I agree with him. Hopefully if you separate and divorce, if that's what you got to do, that whatever you go into next is better than what you came out of. Okay. Now, he mentions that, women are God's gift, but that the man is the prize. The last time I checked, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, ain't nothing better than a gift from God. That's the ultimate prize. Okay. Now, what I will say to you is that when it comes to like a marriage, I would hope that the husband and the wife feels that their spouse is a gift from God, that both people feel that way about each other. Okay. That's what I hope is going on. And not people just saying, well, I'm the prize and she'll get from God. No, we both are gifts from God. We are both the ultimate prizes. That's how I look at it personally. Okay. And I just wanted to put that out there because Kevin Gates something else, y'all. Okay. Now I'm glad that whoever he has now is calming his nervous system and then he's doing well. But Kevin Gates, y'all, he definitely good for some commentary, honey. Yes, he is. But back to these Scots, honey. Like I said, I hate that they're going through this, but I understand that it has to be done, right? And I just think that people need to give these people the opportunity and the space to, explore this new way of life for them, having to not be in the same household, having the kids go between mommy's house and daddy's house, being on your own, truly on your own, probably for the first time in your life ever, without having that support system, your spouse right there with you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a lot for them to manage. So Kevin made a comment on here about, women isolating men, making them think that there's nothing out there. Like God didn't stop making, all these gifts. Okay. Let me tell you, there are men out there that tell women that because you got kids, you're damaged goods. Ain't nobody gonna want you. You hit the wall. You all these things. They will tell you all this rhetoric, honey. And let me tell you, you need to not listen to that. You always keep yourself together. Always. I don't care if you've been married for 30,000 years. You never let yourself go. If you have let yourself go, if you hear my voice today, get back in the gym and get yourself right. Okay? Make sure you're working out. Make sure that that you're eating right, that you got your skin together, that you got the right clothes on, that you got the right personality, you got your money right. You need to keep yourself together at all times. Period. All times. Every time you walk out that door, leaving your house, he need to be hoping that you're gonna come back to him. Okay? You need to be looking good when you walk out that door. Okay, let that man be wondering more about what you doing when you out there than him wondering about him going out there and not getting caught. Okay, believe me when I say that. Never walk out your house not looking like a 10. Never do it. Even if you go to the gym, have on your cute workout set. Okay, Do a little bit of tinted moisturizer or whatever. Make sure you got yourself looking presentable. Every time you step out the house, look like that. Make that man wonder and hope that another man don't see you and try to talk to you. Cause let me tell you, I wear a ring on this finger all the time and I still get stopped. I'm not married though, but you gotta look so good that the man is gonna stop you because he don't want to miss the opportunity to find out about you in case you not married. Yes, because men still approach. Yes, they do. Oh yeah. So like I said, ladies, don't let these men tell you that you can't get no better. You need to make sure you are staying on top of your game, honey, at all times. If you don't take nothing else out this video, you need to take that. Yes, always keep yourself together. Always. Yes. So anyway, y'all. So I just want to come on here and share my thoughts regarding this Desmond Scott and Kristy Sarah situation and how the internet is trying to blame this woman for the actions of her grown husband. Okay. So if you're still here, I appreciate you for sticking around and listening to me. If you have not done so, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Okay. Y'all, it is 31 Jan. We're at the last day of the month already. Yes. 2026 is flying. Okay. So I have a lot of good things I have in store for the channel. I've been doing my live streams consistently. Go ahead and subscribe, hit my notifications, and you'll be notified of all my live streams. I typically do them on Thursdays at 7:15 Eastern time. 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. Yes. So yes, y'all. Check your girl out. Support the channel. And guess what? I will see you on my next video or live stream. Bye.
Forgiveness. Getting, that's your why my baby.